is the
Spotify.
FBI going to social media platforms to kill a story.
That's what I'm saying. He sat down with Mark Zuckerberg. Again, something that's not easy to get. I think that's where a lot of people maybe write that off. Go, it's not easy to get Mark Zuckerberg to sit down, and especially for someone like Rogan, who's going to hit him with questions that and I'm sure he expected this. And look, here's what you got to give it up to Mark Zuckerberg for. As much as I don't like necessarily their actions, I think he's being honest.
Yeah.
I think he told you how it works. We sit back as our organization. We have 4 million people on our Facebook page, let's say on Jay Sekulo's page. We know, we see the viewership go up and down. We know there are words we do not put in titles. We do not put on our social media posts because they don't reach as many people. But it's all up to our social media team to figure out that game. What I liked about this is that Mark Zuckerberg just went out on Front Street and said, you want to know how it works? Here's how it works. The FBI called us, said this story is coming. A bunch of stories are coming. We think it's Russian disinformation. Do something about it. And they said, fine, we'll just leave it up to where people can share it, but no one will ever see it. So it'll just be in an echo chamber of small group of people, a significant, or what was the word he used? A sizable, I believe, decreased, meaningful amount of people.
Meaningful means a lot.
Meaningful means a lot, meaning probably 80% plus.
What that means is you had the FBI go to news agencies, which these social media platforms are, right, during an election, say, don't run this story. I mean, think about that for a moment.
And he
this
said,
is the same FBI that brought you Crossfire Hurricane.
And he pretty shortly asked him, well, what about that? Like, don't you feel bad about that?
We're from the government. We're here to help.
And he said, yeah, it stinks. It's kind of like, we kind of treat it as if a case goes to trial, sure, someone may look bad even if they win. And we just have to kind of throw our hands up in the air and go, we did what we could do.
You know what the problem is, though? It used to be, and the famous case, New York Times versus Sullivan, there's all these cases. And the Pentagon Papers, where the government, New York Times, gets information, and they publish it, even though the government told them don't publish it. This is the Pentagon Papers. This could be damaging. Don't publish it. And the New York Times, to their credit, published it anyways. Here, it's now we've gone into a brave new world, where the government says, don't run this story, this political story about Hunter Biden, Joe Biden's son, and the text companies, if you're Twitter, they ban it totally. If you're Facebook, they meaningfully ban it. Let me tell you what we did. So I instructed our government oversight team to issue to the FBI and the Department of Justice a Freedom of Information Act demand. We want to know all the correspondence that took place. But I want to hear what they said I want to see what they said to Facebook and Twitter and these other social media platforms. I think that's really important to understand that. So that's going to go out probably Monday. They're already working on it right now as we speak. So we're not taking this lying down, because I think when you got the FBI, look, they did in the Hillary Clinton email scandal, what'd they do? James Comey makes an announcement, days before an election, which he wasn't supposed to do, but he did it. Then they did it to Trump. Then they try to kill the Hunter Biden story, saying it's Russian disinformation, which, by the way, does the FBI not get it right anymore? There was a Russia collusion, and that proved not to be true. There was Russian disinformation in the Hunter laptop, and it ended up being that, no, there was no Russian disinformation in the laptop. That was his laptop. So when you ask yourself this question, why is this what the FBI is doing? I always go back to, do me a favor, catch the terrorist.